medicine man, I think. What is a medicine man? Sometimes I haven't a clue. I don't refer to myself as a shaman. Everyone else does that. Writing We Borrow the Earth gave me an opportunity to record the myths, folklore and traditions of my culture. The family I grew up in talked about it inside the family. Rarely was it talked about outside the family. But writing down all of this from my own experience gave me an opportunity to record it forever. It sometimes pains me when I think that quite a few people don't quite understand how to look upon an ancient culture such as mine and such as many across the world. We have a strange way of glamorizing something that was very natural in the past, and we want to sometimes rip it apart and make it our own. And by doing that, we often lose the essence of what an ancient culture has been about and what it could still be if only we learned to look at it in the right way. The other world, yes, it's just outside that door. It's just beyond my fingertip, beyond my little fingertip. It's very, very close to us. It's quite sad that we've forgotten this mostly. We've forgotten the laws and the makeup of the other world. If we can pull it back to us, that's going to be by far the best thing we could ever do. And this is what my writing is about. This is what We Borrow the Earth was about, and what Coming Home to the Trees is about, and what all my fiction is about. Let's get back to the other world. Let's make it part of our lives. Let's see the passion and the arts and the tremendous ancient knowledge and wisdom that comes out of that. This is really living. This is pulling ourselves back into an ancient landscape as much as we possibly can in this tired old world. The other world won't wait for you. It's not going to suddenly stop doing what it does, what it's been doing for millions of years, and bend to your whims and give you a good time. We have to sometimes sacrifice things to understand what the other world is all about. And the sooner we start doing that, the better, because it sure ain't going to change. We have to change in rhythm with the other world, not the other way about. We have to stand by the other world, make sure that we tend it with loving care, feed it, nourish it, and in return it will do exactly the same for us, especially when we die. And that's very important in my culture, learning what you have to learn, doing what you have to do, so that you're worthy and ready to leave when you go. Then hold on to your hat, because it'll be a great ride. And of course, some people don't know what the other world is. Sometimes I see them looking at me with quite blank faces, and I can hear them saying, "What is it?" And this is because we have coloured it with ideas of what our imagination is. Our imagination is a wonderful thing. Through it comes all our creativity and our ideas and our dreams. But we seem to have got into a bit of a pickle about the other world as being a real place. We tend to think that it's made up. And it's not quite like that. We create our other world, if you like, and through creativity we find reality, and that's because it contains experience. So if we want to use our imagination, then we have to make it very memorable, not something that's just thrown to the wind and that we have trouble finding ourselves in, finding reality in. The imagination and the other world are tied up together, but we've got to review this. We've really got to see where we've allowed our imagination to take us over all these years, thousands of years actually. Look at the other world with different eyes if you can, because you must look at your experience. Your experience adds up to make you what you are, and this is what you're trying to refine here in this life. This is what you're trying to learn here in this life. Give yourself an opportunity to do that. Yes, so many of us need to belong. And sometimes there's just one thing, just one element in my culture that will help to bring people alive. They struggle a lot on their own, we all do. But if there's one thing that we can find that brings us together and helps us to feel that we do belong, then that's terrific. We need that. We need that today more than ever, because we just live in such a crazy world. It isn't easy. We all have to get on in the world. We all have to make a stand for what we think. But how do we put those together? I think it's something that probably we have to learn to do through experience, because I feel that there's too many people with talents, with skills, with communication abilities, with dreams, with looking into the other world, with looking around them in a really insightful way, who are not listened to. And let's try and stand together and try to make a difference to this crazy, crazy world. I think a lot of us who are sensitive try to hide away from the modern world, and that's an indication that we're all still trying to revert back to a cultural past. Sadly, a lot of the tools we've used in the past, shamanically or for journeying, have really become toys in some ways, and I find that saddens me quite a lot. But have I got a sense of humour? Of course. Well, I hope so. You have to survive. We get along best in this world by doing the things we enjoy. I enjoy music. I think my culture has given us music and dance, flamenco, It's given us passionate dance, sexy dance. It's provided all kinds of artistic expression, from the traditional through to jazz. And I think also it's given so much to the New Age movement that the New Age movement doesn't really realise how much is attributed to the Gypsy culture. The fortune telling, and of course not forgetting the glamour. There's a lot of glamour that we've given. But the basic nuts and bolts of the Gypsy culture is raw. It's about people who are people. We're people who are simply natural, ancient people. We've been outcasts, we've been beggars, we've been all kinds of things. We've been accused of being thieves. Certainly we've been the rejects of society all over the world. But above everything else, we are simple, natural people who've survived all the way up from thousands of years ago. And I think that's something that we can be extremely proud of. We're people who not only cross the world, but cross worlds. We're renowned for being in the plains and in the deserts. We've been called children of the wind. We're like the leaves blowing in the wind, always connected to nature, never far from nature. And that's a really nice thing to remember. Keep yourself connected to nature and never disregard the Gypsy culture. Never disregard any culture. Respect it, love it, and it'll help you live, laugh, love, and enjoy your life.